I think everyone was appreciating the fact that it's Canadian Thanksgiving and decided to stay home for us, I guess. So thanks everyone. But we do have a few people that forgot that it was Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'll introduce them here. So we got Corey Schmitz. Hey Corey.
Hey.
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you. And we got David Dickinson.
Hey,
Hey David.
Columbus Day weekend down here. So.
It is Columbus Day weekend. And Gary Ganella. Hey Gary.
Hello all.
I should pause that. All right. Cool. So now we've got our good friend and enemy, the stupid moon, is back. So tonight is completely washing out everything that we're going to be showing. So don't be surprised if things aren't as high quality as we usually do, just because of the stupid moon, which most astronomers would just not even bother going out on a night like tonight unless they were going to observe the moon. So, but we soldier on. So
I love the moon.
You love the moon? Well, for sure, we love the moon. But if you're going to try and see anything else, it's going to get pretty washed out. So, all right. Oh, Scott wants to join us. Let me see if I can bring him hither.
2 words: if we had no moon, no eclipses.
And some other problems.
Yeah, I'm going to just switch to David's view of the moon here. His shaky view of the moon. Now, is it your telescope that's shaking, or is the moon actually shaking around like that?
It's me moving the controls and declination, looking for some cool.
What, 4%? So, yeah.
I am aimed right at Eratosthenes, is that crater that's half illuminated. The floor of it's half illuminated right there. That's yeah.
Where's Eratosthenes?
It's right in the center of the disk. Let me pull my phases of the moon up.
Is it near Copernicus, or?
Yeah, it is pretty close to it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if it's labeled on this one.
I don't think we labeled it, no, but that's great. And you can see that central peak there, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Scott!
It's me! Sneaking in like a ninja.
Nicely done.
5 minutes late.
Hi, Scott.
You made a liar out of me. The astronomers were like, Scott, where's Scott? Is he coming tonight? And I'm like, well, he said maybe, and that he was busy, and so that means no, at least in my world.
Here I am.
No, apparently maybe
It's a new yes.
Means yes, yeah. Oh, there's Scott. People didn't even see him there. But okay, I'm gonna go over to Corey's view, which is another view of the moon.
I stand corrected. That is Copernicus. Eratosthenes is right next to it.
Last night and try shooting the moon. So let me hook up my camera and see if I can show you an almost live moon.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's great. So just to let people know, this is an interactive experience, and so you can talk to us, and we will talk back. And also, you can make requests. So if there's anything that you would like to see, we'd be glad to pull it out for you. Now, you have to ask, though, you have to preface, which is, I would like to see a completely washed out, moon-obscured view of, and then X, right? So if you want to see the Ring Nebula, you say, I would like to see a washed out view of the Ring Nebula, or I would like to see a completely blown out Andromeda, and then we'll do that. So, so X-Man 049 says that was a crazy Breaking Bad episode tonight. But you know, we're done with Breaking Bad. But then Jim Meeker says, and now it's The Walking Dead. So now we have to battle with The Walking Dead.
No.
This is like a conspiracy theory, I think. So I'm gonna go back to David's view. Actually, I'm gonna go to Gary's view.
This is the Swan.
Nice.
M17, and let me.
Yeah, and you can really see the noise in the background. I mean, it's a great picture, but you can also see how the stupid moon is having a bit of an
washing
impact.
things out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an embiggened of it.
Oh, it looks great though, and just like that central core with where those really bright hot stars are, is just completely overexposed just because there's so much energy coming out of those.
Yeah, that's a 1 minute with no binning.
And as Dr. Thad Szabo let us know last week, that you have to have a type O star to get enough radiation pouring out of these stars to be able to create that really, really bright core of the nebula. So those are going to be the kinds of stars that are going to detonate as supernova within the next few million years.
Fraser, the reason my moon is drifting right now is my drive motor battery just died.
Oh, did it?
I'm gonna have to do a quick battery swap, so I'll be offline for about 5
Okay,
minutes.
sure. Yeah, or
I'll be
just
right
keep
back.
hand guiding. Corey can tell you how to do that.
I'll be right back.
All right. I'm going to move to Corey's view. Hey, it's a moon washed out Andromeda galaxy.
Yes, it is. That's a 1 minute or 2 minute exposure, I believe, of Andromeda through my 80 millimeter refractor. So you can see M110 and M32 there. And actually, if you look down in the lower right, you can actually see some of the clusters inside Andromeda through the moon, even.
Oh, just like down at the
Barely.
very bottom right-hand side of the
Yeah, of the disk.
galaxy? Yeah.
Just barely.
Yeah, and so, I mean, these are areas of like, are they globular clusters, or are they just...
I don't know what they are. I
Yeah.
can't tell you.
David might know, but he's
Yeah,
swapping batteries right now.
Scott might know as well.
What are we
but
looking at?
Well, just
Andromeda, the details
Yeah.
of Andromeda.
Yeah, down at the very bottom right of Corey's view, you can see there's like just some star clusters going on down there, and just the question being, are they like globulars, or are they actual like star forming, like other kinds of star clusters, star forming regions? But
That's a great point. I'm not really sure which part of the bottom right you're looking at.
Oh, just in Andromeda, you can see like clusters and dust and or not dust, but I guess, but
Well, there's dust there too.
well, nebulosity and stuff in the
Right.
in the disk itself. So
Russell Bateman was streaming some moon earlier, and the scene was pretty good, but the moon is too low for him to share right now. So moon. So but then the skies will darken, and you'll be able to view some other stuff. So yeah, check out Russell Bateman's channel if you haven't already. He's got some great,
Russell's awesome.
yeah, some just amazing pictures of the night sky. So, and we haven't had him in the Star Party, have we?
Yeah, we have.
Did we? Maybe I wasn't.
Maybe I have.
Yeah,
You
I
have.
think so. Yeah, maybe we haven't been at the same time, but yeah, no, great astronomer. So
Yeah, really good guy.
yeah.
Here's my moon. Let me screen share this real quick. This is from last night.
Oh, that's adorable.
Isn't it? It's cute.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So how did you take this?
With a camera? No, I've got a Fuji. It's a bridge camera, so it's not a DSLR. It's between a point and shoot and a DSLR, so everything's manual. And I had it. My lens goes up to 30x optical, and I put it out there. I think it was a. Well, I could look up at the EXIF data. That might help. But I want to say it was like an 8-second, because I have everything turned down, like everything turned down as far as my ISO settings and everything like that. But I'm happy with it since I don't have it hooked to a telescope. That is just my camera, and I can zoom in pretty good. So I'm happy with that.
Are you able to hear us yet, David? You still?
Yeah, I'm back online. I just got to
Okay.
get lined back up now. Battery.
Okay, great. Well, I won't make you think about a bunch of things all at the same time until you're done. Because I was going to ask you some questions. Well, let's go to Gary's next picture here.
This is the Eagle, our famous Eagle
Yeah.
M16.
I really see the eagle on this now.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's sort of swooping down, and
Well, that
then
would
that's its wing in the upper there, and then yeah.
A wing here and maybe the head here.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
back-
yeah.
I'm back
Well,
on.
no, it's like its tail is the bottom right there, and then its wing is up above, and then maybe another wing to the bottom there, and it's just kind of, and then its head is like where the pillars of creation are, a little to the front of that. It's almost like it's a beak there.
Right here.
Well, no, more to the left.
Over here.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
the beak is, right? And then that's the tail on the other, sort of on the opposite side of that, and then the wings. There's the one wing that's closer up above, and then the bottom part is the other.
It
wing
also looks like a
bottom
sideways
left.
Christmas tree.
Does it
and-
really? What else do I see?
Yeah, exactly. It's like looking at the clouds. It's different.
Yeah, it really is.
It-
I see just a fluffy sheep.
I see angry Republicans in the House of Representatives. Wow.
Kind of a neat.
Is the government still shut down?
Yeah.
It's anarchy down here now, so we don't.
Oh, is it now anarchy? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back on autopilot now.
Sorry, we've all figured out we don't need them.
Oh, great. Okay.
This kind of a
so-
neat structure here too.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna go back to Gary's view here. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
that's
like a little twist and like a dark globule coming
that's
down there.
right
Yeah.
above the pillars.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's really neat. So, David, you've got a really nice view of this crater now. Check that out.
Yeah, we've got some high clouds, some cirrus moving in front of us, but yeah, that's you can see the central peak, and the sun is just starting to rise right over. I like the contrast where you can see the crater wall there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go to Corey's view here, and Corey, what do we got here?
This is the Bubble Nebula and M52, I believe in Cassiopeia.
That's great that you can get them both in the same view.
That's actually, that's not the full. I can get a bigger field of view than that, but I zoomed in so you can see the bubble better.
Yeah, so you can see the bubble. I don't know if you can hold your mouse over it. You can see the bubble just down in the bottom right there. It's,
Right.
But that sort of background blue color, that really is the moon washing things out, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Stupid man.
Yeah. Stupid moon!
Reflecting the sun's photons and mess
Well,
up
if
your
you look,
astrophotography.
In this, there's another nebulous region up here. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but
Yeah.
no, you can't actually. But
All
anyway,
right, so
I
Helen Reed would like to see a washed out view of NGC 7009.
I was going to look at that, and that is right next to the moon.
Well, the Saturn Nebula, yeah. Well, let's give
It's
it
in
a
Aquarius, yeah.
Let's give it a
Yeah.
try and really see a fully washed out.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you get that other nebula in the upper right there of that
Yeah,
image.
here, I'll move over. Yeah, right there.
See, what I'll do is I'll just get a flashlight and aim it at the webcam. I'm like, look, it's right here.
It's in the same constellation as the moon is right now in Aquarius. So.
Yeah, I can go grab that, or try.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank
Assuming
you.
it's not behind the moon. I don't know if the moon occults that one or not. It might.
That's great.
How
I'll show you.
close it is to the ecliptic.
It's a neat object. I'll show a sort of
Yeah.
one that somebody took with a little more time than these circumstances.
These jokers over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so that's what the Saturn Nebula looks like. It's just
Yeah.
amazing, though. Look at this.
Oh, awesome.
The structure inside, and those lobes coming out on both sides.
The lobes of ears.
Yeah,
Because, come on, it's Saturn.
it's totally Saturn. I mean, it is absolutely Saturn. That's great.
Probably going to be too small for my field of view, but I'm going to try anyway.
Yeah, you've got just a mighty field of view. Have you ever tried imaging it, Gary?
I can't see much of anything. It looks like a star.
Yeah, again, your field of view is
Yeah.
the same, or even you're not quite as wide as Corey's view, actually, are you?
Quite. 7009. I'll take a look. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
We should. Helen asked, and we must respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helen's awesome.
Hell yeah. So
She's been with us for a long time. We appreciate it.
yeah. So whatever she asks for, we're happy to oblige.
We must obey.
We must obey. You want a moon washed out Saturn Nebula? That's what you get.
Absolutely.
Jamie Orlando says, "Yay! I asked for 7009 for the last 3 parties, and then I just gave up and got an image of it myself," which is awesome. Can you share it, Jamie?
Yeah,
That would be great.
come on, Jamie.
Yeah,
Put it
share
in
it in the chat, and then on the event page, and then I'll share it into the Hangout so people can see. There's the one. Okay, he already did, I think, unless he was sharing the blue snowball. Let me see if I can show this off. No, it is. He did. He's way ahead of me.
Whoa.
All right, hold on. Let me just grab his image.
Oh, and Jamie, I did get your tweet. I'm without a phone right now because, yay, my phone broke. So thank you for tweeting me, and yes, there's a VSP tonight. See?
And you're in it.
And you're in it.
So here you go. So this is Jamie Orlando's view of the Saturn Nebula, which is great. Look at that blue blob.
Bloobity blobity.
But it totally looks like Saturn.
That's pretty cool. You got some color
Yeah,
in there.
and you can see, even if you look really closely, you can almost see some kind of inner structure there as well. So terrific picture, Jamie. That's awesome.
That's why these are called planetary nebulas, because they resemble visually through an eyepiece. They resemble the disk of planets.
Yeah.
It's like the ghost of Jupiter. There's another planetary nebula that's called the ghost of Jupiter.
Oh, really? I wonder.
Yeah,
Neat.
Also, the bluish color, they thought it was going to be like Neptune or Uranus because it's so blue, and that's what.
Yeah, Neptune and Uranus. Yeah, visually they look like tiny planetary nebula. So it's just something about their visual appearance. It's nothing to do with what they actually are.
Now, Michael Dahmer says, did anyone capture an image of the triple occultation of Jupiter? And David, you were all a Twitter about it. leading up to
I
it?
have. It was very low to the horizon here. I got up at 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday, had my scope already set out and ready to go and the webcam ready to go. I had to wait about half an hour for it to clear the trees. It was so low here. So it was very turbulent. I do have it when I can screen share here. It's not the most impressive, but I can, and it's labeled. So let me pull it up. Otherwise, you'd be like, I don't see anything. But let me see if I can screen share without deleting the internet.
Don't delete the internet.
I don't know if anyone did. We ask people to send pictures into Universe Today, or
I've been scouring our Flickr page. I haven't seen
yeah,
any yet.
okay.
I've seen a few on Google Plus that have been shared
Yeah.
out and around. But
Speaking of our Flickr page, that is a tremendous resource. I didn't realize just how many. Can you zoom in? Can you try zooming in on this?
Yeah,
I
can
didn't
zoom
realize
in a
how
little
many images have been posted. We just crossed the 10,000 mark.
Jeebus.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
there's 10,000 images in our Flickr, Universe Today Flickr page, and so we often sort of look through that, and then if there's any pictures that we think are especially neat and newsworthy, we'll post about it on Universe Today. So,
Right.
so by all means, as another place to communicate on the social medias,
Because we need another.
as we need
timer.
more. We really
Yeah.
need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that right there is about 200 frames stacked, and I had to push the contrast like way overboard in order to see the shadows.
Can
on
you
the-
go
on the
bigger?
end. I can go a little bigger. It's of course it's going to increase all the crudiness of the
Yeah, that's
image,
fine.
too.
That's fine.
Show me your pixels, David.
Yeah. No, you can go bigger just in the screen sharing program there. In the image viewer, there's a little zoom in the bottom left.
There's this new technology called Zoom.
Called
on these
zoom,
computers.
enhance and magnify. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see. I see the moons
Callisto is
there.
actually out of the. Yeah, there's two off to the side. The shadows, I had to kind of look at Starry Night to make sure that I wasn't just seeing artifacts in the image, but those actually, and they showed that one notch at the top is the very edge of Callisto's shadow, and I wouldn't have thought that was actually anything but an artifact, but I saw it on several images, so I think it is real. Callisto, the moon Callisto is way off to the side of the frame, so you can't see the moon itself. But I saw a better shadow transit in 2004. This happens every couple of years. We get a season where Callisto can actually transit, so we can get a triple transit. You can never get a quadruple, by the way. It's because of the orbital resonances of the inner moons.
Yeah.
You can get only a 3x max, and Callisto has to be one of the three.
Oh man. Okay, I found the image. I found your image. Okay. Hold on. Let me find a bigger version of this. How can I do this? Okay. Let me just quickly screen share this.
Over in Europe, they got some good, because in Europe it was high in the sky, so they had a good viewing angle on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if
Oh,
some
nice.
See who took it though? It's Amit.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's-
Amit got it, which is awesome.
we get the
Am-
animation. Rock
Yeah,
on.
with the animation. Look at that. So Amit was one of the people who first joined us on the Virtual Star Party back in the day, and
Now, here's something I noticed visually too. Note that the size of the shadows are not the same. Callisto's shadow, I can tell that's Callisto at the very bottom because it's got a much bigger shadow because it's more distant from Jupiter.
Right.
Those inner shadows of Io and Europa are much. And visually, when you look through the eyepiece, you can see that too. That the shadows vary in size. I can tell which moon is transiting by the size of the shadow when I see it.
so there you go. So if you do plan to do a roundup of people's photographs, I don't know whether Bob wants to, but if you do,
Brilliant.
definitely include Amit's picture because it's terrific.
That's the first animation I've seen. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anyone do an animation yet.
Yeah, it'd be great to get Amit back, and as we enter wintertime, then he'll be able to join us again. So that'll be great because he's in Turkey.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's got a totally different longitude view than
Yeah,
we do.
he's fantastic.
That'd be
And
cool.
he's able to just pull out some
Yeah.
monster stuff.
Yeah.
Fraser, I've got a washed out NGC 7009 up right now.
There you go. Love it.
It's completely washed out.
Hey, Corey, I think your white balance is a little out of whack there. Can
Is
you
it?
fix that?
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a little overexposed, maybe?
A little bit, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that one. Gonna need the narrowband like Gary's got.
Well, speaking of Gary, what is this, Gary?
This is the Trifid,
Yes.
and this is
Nice.
a 2-minute, no binning, so I can zoom in and look at the nice little structure and everything going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, look at that.
This is one that really needs color, though.
Yeah,
This
let me
is
try to
all
pull up a
there.
color image of this real quick.
Yeah,
Nice
I really like
blue
but I
here.
like when you do the no binning because you get a lot more just detail. You don't get as much, I guess, faint
Right.
objects, but you really get that detail, and it's such a nice bright object like this.
When they're bright enough, I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. There you go.
Oh wow.
Love the structures inside there.
All right, I'm going to share some more pictures here. What do we got? We got Kevin Franklin just shared a picture of the sun with. Oh, this is great. All right. Bring that in. Is that the one?
And there we go. There is my moon washed out NGC 7009.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Just give me 1 second, then I'll bring
Oh,
that
that's
in.
awesome.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Look at that picture of the sun with the sunspots there.
The sun is finally starting to be active again. I mean, this solar maximum's been very profoundly quiet right now. So it's the quietest maximum we've had for a century. So there's a lot of discussion about why that is, but hopefully
It's just a little shy.
They think we might
Yeah.
be heading toward a second peak in the solar maximum here. So it seems the activity's picking up again.
All right, so
No,
this is
the
Gary.
radio
This
activity's
is
picked up a lot.
is truly a washed out. So is that it in the middle there? That sort of
I
larger
think
looking
this
star?
is it right here. That's the nebula, and right now the moon is about 2 field of views off my camera. So
Right.
Right.
I wonder what
and-
direction it's in.
I was trying to figure that out.
It looks like one of those old Soviet views of from like the far side of the moon or something like that. You're like,
Yeah.
is that a pixel or what is that?
Isn't the best time to try to be taking a picture of this. But you can see it's still small, and that's non-bin. That's just a 10-second exposure. If I tried to do any more, the whole thing would be white.
So there you go, Helen. You're welcome.
Yeah, you got the washed out view, no question.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute for a moment while I clean the dew off my scope.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay, so Russell gave us some of his images here. I'm gonna share this one as well.
Oh yeah, I love his composite.
Yeah, this is great. Look at this. All right, I don't know if you can. This is coming through. Okay.
Yeah. Embiggen.
I don't. Yeah.
Embiggen.
There. Look at that. Yeah, just terrific.
Yeah. It's a great job, Russell.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back to Corey's view here in a second. Once I get myself organized. There we go. Corey, what is this? How many clusters is this?
This is a moon washed out view of the double cluster.
That still looks really good though.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's not super washed out.
No, it's only a 30-second exposure, so that way at least they can see the the color and the stars.
Right. Yeah, I'm really seeing the oranges pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always really like about having the color view on the clusters is you just get that texture of the stars, the different colors.
The
Yeah,
texture,
this is,
they're bumpy and hot.
That hot stars.
Yeah, I did a long exposure version of this recently. That I mean, there's a ton of stars around it in general, but
Oh, the double cluster. Cool.
yeah.
Oh, the ISS. So Tyree in 2006 says on YouTube that the ISS is approaching the west coast of North America between Vancouver and Seattle. So I would be able to see it.
Run outside.
I'll go see it right now.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Let me open
It's a
it up
lot
for
of fun,
the-
like finding those apps to find when the ISS is passing over and actually watching it.
Totally.
And, like if you can get some binoculars. When I was visiting Nicole in St. Louis back in April, we just all happened to time it perfectly, and I grabbed my binoculars and we were able to actually see it going across. It was fantastic. So if you ever get the chance, there's free apps on Android to find out where the ISS is. Just go look up. You can just see it streak across the sky. It takes about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
On a
I was
direct-
really lucky. I was doing a big time lapse of trying to do during the Perseids, trying to get some meteors on camera, but instead the ISS went right through my field of view.
Nice.
I got a big time lapse of the ISS.
Very
It was
cool.
pretty. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
When it passes directly overhead, I was saying before on one of the shows earlier, I can see detail through binoculars. It looks like a little tiny TIE fighter, like a Star Wars TIE
Yeah,
fighter.
totally.
Yep.
If it's oriented the right way, if it's edge on, I don't see that. But sometimes it looks like a little boxy kind of shape. But with my image stabilized binoculars, I can actually see. And with this telescope, I have got detail before on it. I've managed to aim it.
The big plan is to try and bring in the ISS live into the Star Party, but it's going to take some wrangling because
you need somebody with
because we need a really big net to catch it.
Well, no, we need somebody on the West Coast, right? We need somebody who lives on the West Coast because the way we do the virtual Star Parties, you only can really see the ISS shortly after sundown or just before sunrise, and so you know, if you notice all of the tools that will tell you when it's going to come by, it's always just after sunset.
You need an illuminated pass,
and so we need an illuminated pass, and so we need somebody on the West Coast who will be able to view it just when it's gone dark, and then tracking it, and
you would need somebody either that's got a joystick tracking system that's pretty accurate, or tracking software that can just aim the scope. And the way I do it is very low. I do it very low tech, but I don't think I could do it into a Star Party.
Well, Scott says he's able to keep it in view the whole time. This is Scott Ferguson. So
no, not me.
Not
I
you.
look at it
No.
and I'm like, hey, look, it's right there.
Yeah,
right over there. I wish you guys could see this.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find some more images of the triple transit.
The way I do it is I aim my scope manually as it passes over, and then I look back at the video afterwards, and then out of a few thousand frames, maybe I have one or two where it jumps through.
Okay, here we go. So Tom Tarbotten is going to show us some pictures of the ISS. I'm just going to share them right now.
There you
Check
go.
this out. So that's a bunch of pictures of ISS, one after the other.
It's a fuzzy TIE fighter.
It's a fuzzy TIE fighter, yeah. But it's really good, and there's some really terrific photographers out there. Probably the best guy is a guy named Thierry Legault, who lives in Paris, and he's built this amazing custom sort of mount, and he's got this software written from a guy in Germany, and he does these just amazing views of the. He'll go anywhere on the planet to try and get things to line up.
He managed to get the ISS transiting during a partial eclipse. I think he had to go to Oman or UAE or somewhere to do it.
And I think he got at one point he got a view of the what was it? He got the ISS transiting in front of the sun while the Venus transit was happening.
Right, Seeing that one was fantastic.
And probably the hardest one I think he had to do is when he got the shuttle undocking from the ISS. And you would have to time that perfectly because they spread apart pretty quickly once they're undocked.
So Gary, what's this?
This is our Borg Homer.
Right, this is Borg Homer. The Borg Homer Nebula.
M8 the Lagoon.
It looks really good. It doesn't look washed out at all. Is it on pretty far away from the moon?
Yeah, it's quite a ways away. And just for the note, the 16, 17, M8, all of these, we're going to start losing them in a few weeks as they go off over the horizon.
Yeah, we lose the nebula, but then we get the planets back.
Well, we get the planets, and then we get the winter stuff, the Orion.
We'll start getting Jupiter back when we fall back in November. Early November. We should be able to.
Daylight saving time.
We finally leave daylight saving time.
So David or Corey, Helen says, can you get Mare Nubium on the moon, which has a linear fault, the straight wall?
Yeah. The Rupees Recta. I think I can.
And Terry Rhodes wants to know what equipment is Corey using. So Corey, what's your setup?
I'm using an 80 millimeter APO refractor telescope. It's a Vixen ED80.
It is a Vixen.
Yeah.
So hot.
Celestron tracking mount. So it's actually not a big scope at all.
What would one of those run? Picked up.
There's an Orion version with the same glass that I would recommend if you want something. I mean, I don't want to say low end, but because I can do quite a lot of good stuff with it. But it's only $500 just for the glass, and then you spend another maybe $500 on a mount, like what I've got, a CG5, and you're good to go. Then a camera, and then all the other stuff. So it's a freaking roller coaster, but
Yeah.
But it's a
This
great
is-
setup. I mean, the mount is really good and stable, and the field of view is really wide, and the pictures that you take with that telescope are just wonderful. So I think it's a great, if you look to like Stuart's setup, he's got sort of the big brother version of what you've got. He's got more like the 130 millimeter refractor with
Right.
really nice glass. So it's more of, I know his is more like about a $5,000 telescope.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, folks. When we recommend things, we are crack dealers. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Now, this is just the first taste, and it's free. When you start doing it yourself, you're going to be paying a lot of money.
I saw somebody requested M33, so I got a washed out version of M33.
Perfect.
I'm starting to get overrun by clouds. That's why my view is so cruddy right now. I have the moon in there, but it's behind the clouds are getting thicker.
Yeah, you could have had me fooled.
Yeah.
It's so fuzzy.
So it's in there. So that the straight wall is in there somewhere.
I might be able to pull up I might have an archived image of it. I have imaged it before. I know what she's talking about. It's a straight wall that's it's about 100 kilometers long by about 100 kilometers, and it is favorably illuminated right now. I was looking at it earlier tonight. Let's see if I got an archived image. I might.
I'm gonna go back to Gary's view. Now we call this the Borg Homer, but what is it really again?
It's the Lagoon M8.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does look like Board Homer. Like, meh.
Well, until I do this with it, and then it looks like just the way I took it. Let me get it back. There we go.
Now let's see, what does it look like? Besides the upside down board. Yeah, I got nothing.
Yep. No, it's
some kind of bug creature, maybe.
it's more
The
gooder like
bug
this.
creature nebula. There we go.
Yeah.
So again, that really, really bright spot. So this is a star-forming region in space, and that really bright, washed-out spot is where there's a whole pile of really hot Type O stars that are pumping out enormous amounts of radiation. A lot of it in the ultraviolet, and then it's lighting up. All that radiation is lighting up the whole region. And within the next few million years, those things will start going kaboom, kaboom, and seeding the rest of the nebula with heavier and heavier elements, which will eventually sort of compress down and form smaller mass stars like our own sun and the planets. And thanks for the death of those stars, they'll get their heavy elements.
Yay for nucleosynthesis.
Oh,
We
David, what's
appreciate
this? Is this a picture you took of the ISS?
That is the ISS through this telescope. That's like I said, out of thousands and thousands of frames, that was one of the better frames I got.
Nice.
That's amazing.
You can see the structure. It was from a few years ago. Yeah. So.
William Good asked, anyone looking at Andromeda? You had it earlier, Corey, right? I don't know if you still have the picture kicking around.
I did. I can pull it back up.
I got it on my list here too in a minute.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Just for a little bit of not to do with anything, but I actually talked to the space station once.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do broadcast on. It's an FM band.
They have on 2 meters. They have a ham station up there.
Yeah,
And
I know ham
actually-
radio operators do track it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually talked to them once.
Oh, very cool.
Did they talk back?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
What'd they say? Come on.
Hello.
Spill it.
But once they come over the coast, the problem is their footprint. They're seeing, hundreds of people trying to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So as he came over the horizon, I'm on the west, and in fact we had big fires out here then. And he came over. I heard him comment on the plume, and I told him I was at the bottom of the plume. So we talked about that, and then he got swamped.
Nice. That's
Yeah, you
awesome.
can imagine. Here we go. Here's the Andromeda that Corey took earlier.
Nice and blue and washed out.
Yeah. No, that's not super washed out. I'm gonna go to David's view here. Oh, there's the straight wall.
Yeah, that's an archived image. But
So David, you can change the size of this window so that it is closer to the shape of the picture, and that will actually make it bigger.
Yeah.
Nope. Like your actual,
Hang on.
like Microsoft window.
Yeah. If you make it better conform to the shape, then it'll make it look a little better. But yeah, that's a really cool feature. So what causes a feature like that, David? Do you know?
That's That's just a slip right there where
Good people.
it's actually about I believe 100 kilometers long, and a few hundred meters high. It's when it reaches favorable illumination, it's just a slip underneath the material there, where it's
It's
a
like
little more.
collapsed down.
Yeah. One side of it's collapsed down.
So if you were
when it reaches-
standing like right on the moon, like against this thing, would you be seeing like a big sheer cliff?
It would be pretty high, yeah, because a few hundred meters is fairly high, about 300
Yeah.
feet. So yeah, it'd be a reasonably high fault right there that you'd be looking down. It'd probably be like a gradual rise on one side. And,
But then a sheer cliff on the other side.
yeah, right there, it's actually at a better illumination than it is tonight. Tonight I could see it just barely. Last night I could see it a little sharper. Looks kind of like a
Right.
sword in a way.
Right, and the illumination really matters. If you get the
Yeah.
illumination at the right
Tomorrow-
angle, then that
Tomorrow
feature's
night,
really
it vanishes when the sun is almost overhead. When the moon is full, you can't even see it.
right.
You can only see it for about a day or two when it's along the terminator. Right, we just passed first quarter Friday, so right within a day or two of first quarter. Another feature I was photographing Friday night was the Lunar X. I think we brought in before. too.
Yeah, the Lunar
Yeah.
X is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that. I'm going to go back over to Corey's view first. His purple moon.
Purple moon.
That's right. I'd make it pink, but
You're able to make it red,
I can make it red.
but I don't want you to mess with anything, please.
Okay.
Make it red, Corey. Just do it.
So what's
No,
that big crater that we can see sort of on the near the Terminator up towards the top of the moon there?
Well, a long time ago, a large rock hit the moon.
I think that's
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
I'm
Clavius crater right there.
okay.
Is it?
Where is the straight wall? Is there Can I get
Straight
it?
wall it's further down.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I have it actually here, but it's like the clouds are still kind of messing with me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Clavius and Tycho.
Yeah,
The
Tycho.
one with the Tycho. Yeah,
See if I can get it.
I have the lunar straight wall in the center there, but it's very difficult with the clouds to really see it well. It's between those two small craters. There's like, but in this image, it just looks like maybe a little shadowy line.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Take my word for it. It's there.
I believe you, David. Whatever you say.
See if I can
No.
mess with the brightness a little bit on the camera. It might pop out. But I need a cloud zapper.
And then that's Copernicus right there. That one right in the middle.
Yes. Yeah, it's at a pretty good
I don't know
illumination.
if people can see. Thanks to phases of the moon.
Well, where would you get something awesome like that?
I know, right?
Phases
There it
of the
is. Phases of the moon. There's Copernicus, and that's Mare Imbrium. You can pick it up for free
Yeah.
on the Google Play Store.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
we're
did
now.
I did an ad for you in our paper for
That's awesome.
International Observe the Moon Night yesterday.
In fact, our paid version is the 8th most popular weather app now.
Nice.
Yeah. I've gone to Gary's view, and I see some kind of dumbbell.
That's it. M27.
Hey, don't judge.
Clonaro wanted to know if that was a live picture. That is a live picture of the moon, a live video of the moon. Yeah, the one from Corey, and the one that David's doing as well. So I'll move back to that in a second. But that's a great dumbbell nebula,
That is called the Great Gun
and you
Belt.
can really see those fainter lobes, the top and bottom one.
right
there.
in here.
Yeah, which was pretty surprising with the stupid moon.
Moon.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a ways away from it, so
Yeah.
you can see them a little bit better in there.
It's also called the apple core nebula. So if you rotate it a little bit, then it would look like an apple core. But it's a planetary nebula, just like we were looking at earlier, where we have an old star going through its death throes and it's sloughing off its matter.
All right, I'm gonna go back to purple Copernicus.
Purple Copus.
Purple kernel.
You can see the edge of the lunar apple.
Purpleness.
You can see the rays coming off it right now. Copernicus is a fairly recent crater, recent being a few 100 million years old. So.
And you can see as well that central peak in the crater,
Yes.
right? And this is this situation where, and you can see this if you like drop rocks into water and you watch like slow motion rocks in water and rocks in mud and things like that, that you get this central, like when it drops and hits into the water, then you get this peak that comes back out of the water. And then, but imagine instead of it being water, it's rubble, right? And then it just kind of comes back down and rains and piles up in this central peak after the crater hits.
In that, you can see the edge of the lunar Apennines, those mountains that are running right off to the side on my left of the screen.
And they ring around Mare Imbrium, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not too far from the Apollo 15 landing site is right off to the edge of the side of those there. Probably right in the very lower left of the frame.
Yeah.
I can pull that up. Lower left.
Yeah, right. You got it right about centered there is the rough area of the Apollo 15 landing site.
And then that's Mare Senitatis to the left of it there in that view. Problem is that it's all upside down, Corey. You know you're imaging it upside down, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
But
I'll turn the camera, but, I'll be back in half an hour after
you can see the contrast of a lot of older craters there at the bottom where they're all filled in. They can actually date a lot of the areas by the statistical number of impacts and how old they are, and how fresh the craters are.
Super fresh.
David, is that over on the right bottom? And that's just a crater showing, like, reflecting, right? It's
it's at a different illumination angle. The sun's at a higher angle there, so there are some craters that do have a much higher albedo. The moon it looks really bright white, but it's actually a very dark object. It's actually got the albedo of like 10% or so, like
really?
Like fresh asphalt,
Mm-hmm.
or worn asphalt, I would say. It's the moon close up is actually very dull gray in color. The astronauts, when they were on it, it's not as ivory white as it looks in the sky.
it's just so heavily illuminated that
Right,
it's just
exactly.
really bright.
You've got what little sunlight, that 10% of sunlight you have is being concentrated down to a very small point in the sky.
While Enceladus, right, has a albedo of like 90.
Yeah, it's like snow.
Yeah, it's like white snow.
Fresh snow has an albedo of about 90%. Cloud cover on the Earth has like an albedo of about 80-90%.
Yeah, so you can just imagine if we had Enceladus as a moon.
It'd be much brighter.
Yeah.
And by
yeah.
albedo, we mean reflectivity of light.
Yeah,
So,
how much light it's reflecting back.
That looks just great, Corey.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, how are you getting the live view differently from the pictures you were taking?
It's in the same program, Backyard EOS. It has a planetary mode on it that if your DSLR can do live view at all, it will use that and just capture it. So
That's very cool. My moon is almost totally clouded out. It looks like a white blob behind the clouds right now. That's why I switched over to the web to the HD cam.
you're just vain. We just want to locate you. I understand you.
I just want to play with my new camera.
Did you get the C920?
This is a Microsoft Live Cam.
Oh, the live cams. Yeah, I got the studio. That one's really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show off another picture here of ISS.
This is the ISS that Marcos put in?
Yeah, well, this is from Rodrigo Rios.
Mm-hmm.
And look at that.
Wow, that is amazing.
Isn't that just unbelievable? Oh, I can't. I have to zoom the real one.
You know, during the Cold War, they couldn't do images that with that much detail. Like the government image observatories that were tracking spy satellites couldn't get that kind of detail. And now amateurs can get that kind of detail.
Right.
It's just in the power of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
The technology arms race between amateur and professional.
I'm going to move to Gary's view.
This is my Andromeda M31.
And what's great about Gary's view is you can really see those star clusters we were talking about earlier, those
Yeah.
knots of star formation that are in the spiral arms of the galaxy.
Got some satellite galaxies in there too. I see at least
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Satellite galaxy here and here.
Yeah.
And some star forming in this area and down in here.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're going to lose Andromeda in the next, I guess, next month or so?
I don't
No.
think so.
No? We'll have it for a little while?
Gonna stick
Oh,
around
yeah.
a while.
It's not quite even at zenith yet for me. So
Oh, okay. All right.
It's still rising.
So Clonaro wants to know, with our telescopes, are we able to observe other planets? Yes, in fact, we have viewed every planet except for Mercury live in the virtual star party, and we've also imaged Pluto. And a couple
Which
of
was awesome.
yeah, which was amazing. And we've also
I mean, a
had,
little dot.
yeah, but just the fact that you know what it is that we're looking at is the key. So, and we've also had a bunch of asteroids, lots of comets. We've had some live comets, and
we got eclipses and the Venus transit.
star trails.
We would probably have to nab Mercury at a favorable evening apparition, which usually you get 1 or 2 a year. Right now, it's at greatest elongation right now, but it's not favorable for North America. So you could probably make that happen the next year or so.
I think it's a goal we can go for.
It won't look
X-Men
like much,
049 asks, does anyone have pictures of the Hubble Space Telescope? Now, Hubble's at a higher altitude, right? It's like 500
Yes, it
kilometers, I
is.
think?
Yeah. Hubble was right at the edge of the shuttle servicing capability when they went up to it. It's in a 28 degree inclination orbit, and like 500 kilometers, I think it is.
So anyone who wants to watch Gravity, I just want to let you all know,
I was gonna say
the International Space Station orbits a couple of hundred kilometers lower than the Hubble Space Telescope on a completely different orbit.
it's in a 52 degree inclination orbit, so they can reach it from Baikonur. As well as Cape Canaveral. So.
But all you have to do is float out there, right? I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that lots of angry orbits aren't there because, unless you want.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is just that.
And just a reminder too, with the Hubble, we are doing a hangout tomorrow and on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome. Give us some more information about that, Scott. What's going on?
So we are working on the Orion Nebula and the star-forming regions of it. So there are there's a workshop at the Space Telescope Science Institute, and so we will be doing a live broadcast from there and bringing in some astronomers and astrophysicists and things like that to be able to talk with us. And then also I posed it up to a lot of our astronomers here from the Virtual Star Party to bring in their images of the Orion Nebula.
Oh, that sounds great.
We're going to be branching it through on, it's going to be 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific for both Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, great. But you've got an event for that, and people can go look for it.
Event page, I'll put that into our own event page for this.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Cool. Okay, well, we should probably start wrapping this up then. Gary's got one last view of something, the North American Nebula? No.
That's it. Yep.
Nice.
With the Gulf of Mexico right here, and a little nub of Florida and Mexico going down that way. So we're kind of looking at the heartland of America right here. And let's see, Fraser, you're probably up over in this corner around here.
Get out of the corner, Fraser.
Yeah.
No, I'm further up I'm off the view.
Yeah, you'd be off the view. Never mind.
Yeah.
You're not in the picture. I'm sorry.
You're just barely in the picture where the G is on the Google Plus. I think you're just barely in the image as well. But cool, awesome. All right, well let's wrap this up. So Corey, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
And hopefully at some point you're going to get access to maybe some bigger telescopes and.
That's the hope. If that works out, I will definitely bring them.
That will be great.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. All right. And David, thanks as always.
Yeah,
that's great. I love the view here. We got your telescope.
I kind of like this. Yeah, it's a little cooler now. I just got to remember the webcam's over here and not over here now.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And thank you very much, Gary.
Very welcome, as always.
And Scott, glad you were able to make it at the last minute.
At the last minute, just jumping on in like a ninja.
And if you haven't already, I just want to remind you that you ought to subscribe to this channel wherever you're seeing it on YouTube, and that way you'll get reminders about the various cool things that we're doing. We've got Astronomy Cast coming tomorrow at noon. We've got the Weekly Space Hangout on Friday at noon. I've got two more Space Explainers coming out next week, so lots of good stuff coming out from the channel. And yeah, so it's going to be a busy week for space. Even though the government's shut down, the universe hasn't shut down. And,
it has not, and we're still doing a lot. So we have Hubble on Monday and Tuesday. We have a Comet ISIN update on the 17th because Hubble just got some more data.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
On
I heard there were
ISIN.
these images, yeah. I heard that.
So we're getting some of that in coming up, and yeah, there's all sorts of things. So even though the government's shut down, we're still doing everything science because it's awesome.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you guys all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Later.
In the background. I mean, it's a great picture, but you can also see how the stupid moon is having a bit of an
washing
impact.
things out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an in big end of it.
Oh, it looks great though. And just like that central core with where those really bright, hot stars are is just completely overexposed just because there's so much energy coming out of those.
Yeah, that's a 1 minute with no binning.
And as Dr. Thad Szabo let us know last week, that you have to have a type O star to get enough radiation pouring out of these stars to be able to create that really, really bright core of the nebula. So those are going to be the kinds of stars that are going to detonate as supernova within the next few million years.
Fraser, the reason my moon is drifting right now is my drive motor battery just died.
Oh, did it?
I'm
I think everyone was appreciating the fact that it's Canadian Thanksgiving and decided to stay home for us, I guess. So thanks, everyone. But we do have a few people that forgot that it was Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'll introduce them here. So we got Corey Schmitz. Hey, Corey.
Hey.
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you. And we got David Dickinson.
Hey,
David.
Columbus Day weekend down here. So.
It is Columbus Day weekend. And Gary Ganella. Hey, Gary.
Hello, all.
I should pause that. All right. Cool. So now we've got our good friend and enemy, the stupid moon, is back. So tonight is completely washing out everything that we're going to be showing. So don't be surprised if things aren't as high quality as we usually do, just because of the stupid moon, which most astronomers would just not even bother going out. And we will talk back. And also, you can make requests. So if there's anything that you would like to see, we'd be glad to pull it out for you. Now, you have to ask, though, you have to preface, which is, I would like to see a completely washed out moon-obscured view of, and then X, right? So if you want to see the Ring Nebula, you say, I would like to see a washed out view of the Ring Nebula, or I would like to see a completely blown out Andromeda. And then we'll do that. So, so X-Man 049 says, that was a crazy Breaking Bad episode tonight. But, we're done with Breaking Bad, but then Jim Meeker says, and now it's The Walking Dead, so now we have to battle with The Walking Dead.
No.
This is like a conspiracy theory, I think. So, I'm going to go back to David's view. Actually, I'm going to go to Gary's view.
This is the Swan,
Nice.
M17, and let me...
Yeah, and you can really see the noise. Yeah, okay. All
I don't know if it's labeled on this one.
I don't think we labeled it, no, but that's great. And you can see that central peak there, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Scott!
It's me, sneaking in like a ninja.
Nicely done.
5 minutes late.
Hi, Scott.
You made a lie out of me. The astronomers were like, Scott, where's Scott? Is he coming tonight? And I'm like, well, he said maybe, and that he was busy, and so that means no. At least in my world.
Here I am.
No. Apparently, maybe
It's a new yes.
means yes. Yeah. Oh, there's Scott. People didn't even see him there. But okay, I'm gonna go over to Corey's view, which is another view of the moon.
I stand corrected. That is Copernicus. Eratosthenes is right next to it.
Last night and try shooting the moon. So let me hook up my camera and see if I can show you an almost live moon.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Oh, neat.
So,
Oh, that's great. So just to let people know, this is an interactive experience, and so you can talk to us out on a night like tonight, unless they were going to observe the moon. So, but we soldier on. So,
I love the moon.
you love the moon. Well, for sure, we love the moon. But if you're going to try and see anything else, it's going to get pretty washed out. So, all right. Oh, Scott wants to join us. Let me see if I can bring him hither.
2 words: if we had no moon, no eclipses.
And some other problems.
Here, I'm going to just switch to David's view of the moon here. His shaky view of the moon. Now, is it your telescope that's shaking, or is the moon actually shaking around like that?
It's me moving the controls and declination, looking for some cool.
What, 4%? So, yeah.
I am aimed right at Eratosthenes, is that crater that's half illuminated. The floor of it's half illuminated right there. That's yeah.
Where's Eratosthenes?
It's right in the center of the disk. Let me pull my phases moon up.
Is it near Copernicus, or?
Yeah, it is pretty close to it.